connecting to the cloud server. Okay, so welcome, dear lovely people. I'm going to put this in the gallery view so you can see us both. So,
hello.
My name is Uma Dinsmore-Tuli, and I'm speaking to you from the Yoni Shakti, the movement campaign. So Yoni Shakti, the movement, is a campaign to eradicate abuse of women in yoga and to reclaim yoga as a tool for healing, justice, and freedom. And I'm really delighted. And Yoni Shakti, the movement.com is where you can find out all about it. And Pawel Kwasniewski is here from Gdansk in Poland. I've known Pawel for 5 years. He's in Bhakti Shala, which is an independent, heart-based, beautiful shala in Gdansk. And I'm inviting Pawel to speak to us about his experiences as a yoga teacher. He trains aerial yoga people, yoga teachers. He does beautiful work with yoga for women, yoga for pregnancy, heart-based yoga, bhakti, chanting, like full power. Wonderful work. Pawel, speak to us. Why did you set up an independent studio? Didn't you work for some commercial studios beforehand?
Yeah, firstly, thank you for having me here. I'm so happy to be part of the community that's changing the world one step at a time, as we do around ourselves. Well, Bhakti Shala was founded here mainly because of you, Uma, actually, and because our meeting, there was a dark time in my life when I came to Stroud to take my Nidra Shakti workshops, actually. And when I entered the place, I remember sitting by the piano. I remember the moment precisely and just playing and singing my song. And it was just after I failed exams from Academy of Music. I was kicked off, and yeah, I was heartbroken. And actually living in Poland as a gay person with a Catholic and a bit Nazist community, it's like, it was not easy. And I felt home. And before that, like 15 years ago, one of my teachers told me, you will open the shala. And this was the changing point when I felt like, oh, this is my time. And I stand my ground. I feel that I am back home and within myself. And well, it was my sankalpa that time. And I can share it because it's alive. And it allowed me to find a power to get out of the commercial studios that were not only abusive, but they were violating the freedom of speech, claiming yoga practices as sect or cults. Chanting was not permitted, quoting sutras and quoting tantras, it was not permitted. Smoking incense was perceived as against the Catholic Church. So what we found, we need to have the safe space. Firstly, the safe space for everybody. Everybody can take the class, they get guidance where to start, how to approach the practices from the heart space, and to find place to be able to practice for whole life, basically from second month of their life until really, really elderly people. And the beautiful thing is that people found home here, people that were looking for the place, they were kicked out of yoga schools because they were not fitting there. Yeah. Because they were not skinny, body abled. They were just not there because they wanted to chant, they wanted to meditate. And I found out after teaching for years in commercial studios that I cannot be the part of the movement that's teaching a culture of silence, basically.
Oh, come back, Pawel. Oh, we've frozen a little bit there. I think our internet connection.
I froze?
Oh, yeah. A little bit. You just got to the bit that was so important, and you said you felt you couldn't be part of a yoga culture that was like a culture of silence. Can you?
It still is. it cannot fit my mind. How can we silence the students during their practice? Because it's not our sadhana to be done on our classes. It's not our, we are in service. We are in her service, in service of Shakti. And if not, what's the point of being a teacher? To instruct what? Have we got even the knowledge or experience to tell somebody what to feel and to quiet students? So I felt like as a teacher, I was not able to teach yoga. As a student, well, I took a beginner's yoga class. It was only about down dog for 45 minutes, nothing more or less. Not even warm up or breathe, just be there and fit into the sizes. And it was measured 90 degrees, blah, 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 blah. So basically, I felt like I am not the shape. Okay. I am not only my body. I'm not only the body-centered practitioner. It's not yoga. It's a violating of the true teachings, the honest teachings. And I don't care what traditions you're coming from. If you're silencing your students, what is the point of the practice? And I felt like when I ask a question, okay, can you please tell me where are you at your cycle? I don't get response. They're just standing hips width apart, not saying anything and doing things I tell them to do, not listening to what's within, not tuning to the cycles. We all do have them. Yeah. And that's the thing that I relearned after taking the wonderful Yoni Shakti therapy training with you. It was life-changing because it's not only re-evaluating my teaching practice, but changing the whole methodology at teacher trainings to make all the practices accessible, to relearn, restructure, and to reopen the practices for everybody. And I found that it is mainly for me about women in yoga, but it's not only about that. It's about allowing everybody to feel welcomed, as I did in Stroud.
Yeah.
And well,
hello.
You know most of the story. Oh, hi.
Eileen.
Great to see you, Eileen.
Do you have a box? I need to make some.
Yeah, just outside on the table.
So, yeah. So what I found is I wanted to go through the trainings I took for last, about 20 years, because I'm yoga child. And most of them came from the transmission that we were not to speak during the asana. We were not to speak even during the satsang. We were not to speak during the lectures, the talks, even doing exercises. We were not able to speak at all. We were to be silent. And
so you were challenging this idea that like there was an instructor who has all the expertise and everybody else just lines up and makes the shapes.
Yes, and there is also a big story, because about 2013 I took one of the biggest advanced yoga trainings in the world. It was vinyasa based, and I was surprised because not only about the violating, of course, about 70 women that were in the room and nobody asked them, because it was about inversions and twists. Where are they? Do they want to just, learn by asking questions, observing, and doing the proper thing, which is to learn things, not to, everybody was expected to do everything. If not, you are not good enough.
Even with those 70 women in that advanced teacher training course, there's no inquiry about like their menstrual health.
Nothing. You're not women at these trainings. You're not women. You're a person, and it's like, for me, it was from the point of time where I am right now, it was dehumanizing people in the room, because, well, for me, I am not a woman, but still I had my hips injury, and when I got on the handstand, the teacher took my legs and pulled me, and he told me, "Oh, you've got to be square." Well, it is way more than we see for the first point of view, because abuse has tiny steps. And it starts with the perspective that I know, but you do not know. And I know better because I am yoga star, where right now I've got the courage to say, fuck off. just to stand up and leave the room and say, you are abusive. And that's what I do if it happens. And this is a thing that I teach my students and upcoming teachers to do, just to speak their hearts. And, you know, to find this fierce energy, sometimes to allow yourself to be fierce. And maybe people can see it as a chaotic, but you've got your right to be yourself. And we're missing the point of yoga when we're teaching shapes. It is about integrating your own true nature, not about, for me, it's not about fitting into somebody else's shape. If we do that, we never get to Tantra, we never go to the mother, because when we go to the mother, it says it's expansion of consciousness. You cannot expand your consciousness in down dog, can you? Doing only shapes, repetitions, serious. We are to live yoga practice. If not, it's useless. For me, it was useless for years. And I found home by teaching women, because it was not my choice actually in this life. Women, just when I moved to Gdańsk, I just had tiny flat, and I gave some ads on social media. Oh, the shala is opened, and it was like not even similar to the beautiful school with all the yantras and everything, but there was a seat, and I had nothing when I moved to Gdańsk. And one day people came to my apartment, and they got everything. Yoga provided everything, the trust in people, their freedom and in their choices. And you know what happened? Weird thing, people started coming. There were couples met at classes through yogic practices. Children got born. And then what happened is women found me, and it was, oh, can you teach maybe a menstrual class? I am not the one to do that. And it was only my pride. I had to shut up, learn, talk, find doctors, to find midwives, to go through everything actually in Poland on your own. And what I found is, here in our culture right now, you cannot get sexual education at all. If you've got any questions, any doubts, everything is dirty, everything is sinful, everything is wrong. So we came to the point where women were looking for somebody to help them. And I was like, no, go to my friend. And there were crowds, and that's why Shala is full and alive. And I remember asking you, I would dream about taking the Yoni Shakti training, because the tools are so needed. They are so needed in the community. And well, it happened. And we've got Yoni Shakti class today at 8:15. We've got it for 9 months right now.
And I really want to honor Pawel here, because it was Pawel's commitment to like a really big picture of justice and empowerment, you know, to actually honor the freedom that people can gain through practicing yoga, that made me really open my heart, because I had been very clear that the Yoni Shakti course was only for women who, you know, and then there was this focus on menstruation. And when I spoke with Pawel and began to understand that these tools which you're speaking about, which are yoga that honors each individual's experience, that the tools that teach us that are valuable for all humans of all genders, you know. And so we had this and we connected with all the women. We said we would like for this brother to come and join us on the course. And so Pawel was the very first brother to join us on these courses that had previously been all the sisters. And it was such a powerful journey. for everybody to realize that the time is now to share whatever tools we have for freedom and empowerment. And actually menstruality consciousness is of value to all humans. We're all in cyclical connection, whether we're women who've stopped menstruating, whether we're women who never menstruated, whether we're men who don't menstruate, and all of us, all the different genders, all the different fluidity ways of being, we're all living on this planet under cyclical wisdom. And so these tools are helpful for everyone. And it was really beautiful sharing with Pawel and seeing this marvelous young brother like standing fiercely, because I know you had, you know, huge challenges, that you were you know, prevented from teaching what you believed was important, that you were excluded from commercial studios, that you were kicked out. So it's in this experience sometimes of being pushed out to the margins that and I don't know if you want to speak about the situation in Poland right now, because it's not just in the yoga world that there is injustice and oppression.
Actually, many things summed up to the point where we are at Shala right now and where I am as a teacher, because the first thing is living in branded yoga world where teacher can come to you at any posture, he or she can put hands anywhere they want without asking or even saying, where people are trusting the old books that the shoulder stand will heal your depression, and people get violated through, you know, through lies.
Okay.
And people get violated through suspicious of teachers. We are not trained to say, I don't know, but we don't know most of the time. Well, it all depends. It does. Everything depends. And I learned to talk to medical doctors, to physiotherapists, to psychologists and psychiatrists, to talk, to exchange, to live through whole knowledge, because we can extend the yoga on anything. It's our heart. The second thing what happened is people started saying, I'm not teaching yoga, because for them yoga is just asana. Well, it was the same with aerial yoga in Poland. They said it's not yoga. Well, we're reading sutras, we're reading even tantras at classes, we're chanting, sometimes we do kirtan after aerial yoga, we do meditation, we do yoga nidra, you do asanas, we do pratyahara using the hammock just to get multidimensional experiences of our true self. So where is yoga? And the most important thing is, well, the abuse happens on daily basis here in Poland, and not only here. And it is about Black Lives Matter right now. In Poland, it is about that every life matters. Not only straight life matters, not only straight relationship matters. And it is partially a huge part of Shala here, and why I am just traveling everywhere. Even I'm teaching in England, the UK, I'm teaching in Germany and Italy, just to show that if you want, you can. And even if the whole world is against you, because people would say, oh, you're too young to teach yoga, you are inexperienced. Well, I also learned to stand my ground because of yoga nidra training, when I felt like I am enough. And it was the moment you told me, and you usually say things to people that you can and you should be teaching. I remember your words, you should be teaching trainings. And oh my God, I'm going to Italy. I will start international aerial yoga teacher trainings. I will do everything that I ever dreamed of to help people to get in touch, that it can be yoga, everything can be. And it is labeling thing in whole yoga industry. Who is there to tell you you're doing your practice or you're not, or what is true? Well, if something has integrative impact on our lives, if something is uniting us with ourselves, not silencing, not labeling, not putting us anywhere, just allowing us to be in our own spirit, to be true to ourselves. Well, that's yoga for me, and this is about Yoni Shakti movement. That's why I feel a part of it. I feel my heart is with you. I share it wherever I can, and I will share it. But I want to speak up. We never know the story of another yoga student or teacher. We've been there all at the patriarchic structures. We've heard people saying the stories. And it's not only the first look at the person when you see white body able practitioner. Well, my body went through dance education, through pain, through kicking out of the society, through searching for myself everywhere around and finding myself back here, as Lala said. And it's me. I'm Lala. I'm naked. And I feel so happy about that. And I want to just point it at the end that we never know the story. We have to see people not as we think they are, not as a white body able person, but as a whole being, and just to allow our openness and liberation of consciousness to expand on every being, because they all have the story, not to excuse anybody, they all have a story to be heard. And if we don't stop the transmission, if we don't look at the person that did something and listen to the story, what is the difference between us? And I would love to say that, to speak up. Well, I'm white body abled. I'm also gay. I'm kicked out of the community. I'm in pain. And this is Yoni Shakti is my practice. The whole book is my Bible. Well, if you look at it, it's all apart because all the pages are out of it, because I'm just reading it all the time, rereading it as yogic scriptures, because this is my tools. I need freedom. I need to feel free. And I feel free because of the practices. So my wholehearted prayer is to see people as they are in their hearts, because we want to be the change. We don't want to just scream. We want to be the change. And yeah, that's why Shala is open. That's why Kalima is here. That's why Hanuman is here, because this is our freedom, and Tantra is for our freedom. And blessings to you, and thanks. And I really bow my head. Thanks for the teachings.
Thank you. I really give thanks and praise and honor to Pawel and to all his work at Bhakti Shala in Gdansk. And yeah, I want to make sure that we can hear that these calls for freedom, they come from all the places, and that what we're trying to do here is to bring those voices that were at the margins into the center, you know, so that we can hear what's called for. And that's when we really need to do the deep listening. So it's been an honor to listen to you. Paweł, would you like to say the best place for people to connect with Bhakti Shala in Gdansk? Do you want to say your...
The website is in Polish, actually, shala.pl, but there is a new website coming, but still I really would love to hear from you. If you've got anything to share, well, let's open the space, because we're all here for some reason, and maybe there are some things that you would love to write, and we will be down there in conversation, maybe, if you've got any questions about...
Yeah, so well, definitely, if you have comments or questions, especially the Polish yogis and yoginis, if you want to connect in with Pawel, this is how, but he's all over the place in Italy and England and everything. So we'll connect in through the comments after this this video, and you can ask questions. And I'm giving thanks and praise and honor to my dear brother yogi, Pawel Kwasniewski in Gdansk. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for being part of Yoni Shakti, the movement.com, to eradicate the abuse of women in yoga, to reclaim yoga as a tool for freedom and justice, and yeah, deep liberation. So we can do deep listening to all the voices that have been silenced. So thank you so much for being here. Lots of love to you and your beautiful students and family and everybody there in Gdansk. Okay, Jai Ma. I'm going to stop. stop the recording now. So let me stop the recording and yay. There we go. Stop the recording.